reviews off this Power 5. Okay, now number 5. Now, this is a little bit of a controversial one because we got 8-loss team. Okay, or 5-loss team, excuse me. Baltimore. I know they did lose to Philadelphia. I predicted that they would lose to Philadelphia. They have a much, much needed bye week, okay? This team, number 1 offense in the league, number 2 against the run. Run the ball, stop the run, but they're really good at running the ball. Again, number 1 total offense. This team is a house of fire. I still got them as the number 5 best team in the country here. I think that they played them again. There's a good chance they could beat the Eagles with rest and maybe at a neutral field at another time. Not a type of that was more of a situational game here. But right now, I would put the Ravens at number 5. Okay, now, number 4, Buffalo. Buffalo, potent offensive Allen again, playing at an MVP level. We saw what they did Sunday night. This team is they clinched the AFC East, by the way. It's December the 3rd. They clinched it on December 1st. Now, I'll say this. If they're still thinking 1 seed, that's still kind of keeping the edge there for them, you know. They still want to think 1 seed, still want to – because they beat Kansas City. If Kansas City slips up, Kansas City still has to play the L.A. Chargers. So, Kansas City still may slip up there. If you're Buffalo, you still want to be playing at a high level. But for whatever reason, if Kansas City runs the table and they end up 16-1 or whatever, if you're the Bills, I said this before and I'll say it again, I would rest my running backs at least and a lot of my starters in Week 18 and give yourself a bye week and go get ready to go on that run as that number 2 seed come wild card weekend if I'm Buffalo. But, you know, hey, look, they're playing really well right now. I got them at number 4. Number 3, listen, Philadelphia. I think this is the best version of Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley leading the entire NFL in rushing yards. He has surpassed Derrick Henry. 109 yards against that Raven defense is very 109. I think it might have been 103. He had over 100. Very impressive considering that level of run defense here. Guys got an outside shot at MVP. I mentioned this when I talked about that game earlier. I'm real impressed with the way Keelan Moore's playing up to their talent, and they're using they're not. He's not trying to turn the Eagles into something they're not. Okay, they're not this big spread 4-wide passing team. That's not the Eagles. They're power running, play action, read option. That's what they do. And that's what they're doing really well. Same thing with Vic Fangio. Got all 3 levels, especially that safety play there. Really taking out the two big receivers there. Really Zay Flowers as well, and making Lamar throw to his tight ends here. They're playing well. They currently have the 2 seed. They're right on the heels of a Detroit Lion team. Eagles playing really well, maybe better than their Super Bowl team a few years ago, in my opinion, more consistent defensively. And, of course, number 2, Kansas City. They had a close game Friday against the lowly Vegas Raiders. Remember, they lost on Christmas Day last year to the Raiders at home. This was another home game on Black Friday. A few bad calls one way or the other. I still think that with Isaiah Pacheco coming back, I think this team is still going to be a force to be reckoned with. I still think that they're still trying to work out DeAndre Hopkins, getting him and getting Worthy to play off him. By the way, Hollywood Brown may be back here in a few weeks here. So it's still coming together. And Noah Gray, you know, 2 out of the last 3 games, he's been catching touchdowns here at tight end. I think Kels is pretty much on the back end of his career. But that being said, this defense hanging around the top 5 here. Quite frankly, I think they're getting a little bored. They played, they played the Panthers a couple of weeks ago, and then they played the Raiders. So I think if they got a little bored there, but they get the job done. Still got them at number 2. And, of course, number 1, I don't know how long they're going to stay at number 1. They may lose Thursday night. Thursday night is this Detroit Lions team. Very close game on Thanksgiving. Very talented Chicago Bears job. But they still got the win. Still think and they have an edge throughout. Get into playoff mode. It's kind of a blessing in disguise for the Vikings and the Packers to be playing so well. You do not want a situation if you're Detroit where you've peaked too soon and you're going in and not playing that many minutes and that many snaps and coming into Week 17 and Week 18. You don't want to be the 2006, I want to say. You don't want to be you don't want to be, it might have been the 2004, excuse me. It makes no, never mind. 2005, actually. You don't want to be that Colts team that had they had the 1 seed sold up 2 and 3 weeks ahead of time. And they went in there, 2005. It was the Colts, yeah. Complacent, got off to a very slow start, and a second-year quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, with that Pittsburgh team, went in there, and they finally started to get their timing back, but it was late in the game, and, of course, we know what happened there. Kyle Vanderjagt missed that field goal. That was probably the best Colts team I've seen. That Colts team didn't win. Remember, they won the next year, but they did not win in 05 and 06. They won in 06 and 07. You do not want to be that if you're Detroit. You want to keep that edge all the way out. And I'm sure that Dan Campbell's doing that. Now, they did lose Rodrigo. I want to say Blankenship, but I don't think that's it. They lost a linebacker, so they are a little thin here. They, injuries are starting to really pile up. We'll see. They still got Zadarius Smith. They still got, I forgot the guy's name, Clarkus or whatever at linebacker. Brian Branch, Carlton Davis there. They're going to be fine. And I mentioned DJ Ritter. They're going to be fine. They get a little thin there. Need to still continue to lean on that running game and do their thing here. But I still got them at number 1. So Detroit, number 1. Kansas City, number 2. Philadelphia. Some may say Philadelphia should be number 1, but we'll see. Philadelphia, number 3. Philadelphia, number 3. And, of course, number 4. Did I put like I said, number 4, I've got Buffalo. You say, well, why'd you put Buffalo? Well, Buffalo's run defense is still not so sure about that run defense. Of course, Baltimore Ravens at number